Alright folks, it's finally time. The old Falcon's gonna get a clutch. I haven't bought it yet because there's two different styles apparently, and I don't know which one it takes, and it might take different clutch arms or throw out bearing arms and stuff. So anyway, got the clutch, got it all up on jacks there and up on ramps there. When I was a kid, I did this with a bumper jack, and it fell off the bumper jack, and I was underneath it, and it was not good. I didn't get hurt, but this time I'm a little bit smarter. Anyway, let's see how this goes. Alright folks, well, it's bad news for the Falcon here. So I decided to do the transmission, do the clutch. I was thinking that the rattling noise or the vibration was caused by the clutch. I was thinking it was in the clutch. So I took it all apart, and everything looked okay. So here's the pressure plate. Looks good. There's nothing broken in it. Let's see here. Turn this light off here. Okay. So there's no, all the springs are good. Springs in here are all good. Everything's good. All right. And then the pressure plate, the clutch disc, looks pretty good. There's actually a lot of meat left on it. And it's actually bigger. It's thicker than the one I bought. So, I guess the world is getting cheaper all the time, but whatever. So, but these are all good and tight. Sometimes these springs right here on the pressure plate break, and they make kind of a rattling noise. But it wasn't that. So, I don't know. I put the new one in and had a kind of a rough time putting the tranny back in. It was a little bit tight. So, anyway, so I got it in, and now I don't have the drive shaft in yet, but I got everything else in, and I wanted to just fire it up and see if the vibration's gone. So the vibration happens in neutral when it's sitting still, or when you're driving at about maybe 50 miles an hour, 45, 50 miles an hour. So anyway, so now it won't start. It's kind of a little bit binding. God, I hate to pull the tranny again. That was a job. So let's see here. All right. Let's see if we can get it to go. And this thing just, it just kicked off like that. So it sounds like there's a bind in it. So what am I going to do here? I guess it could be the battery's low, but I don't think so. Anyway, so I got my charger on there. I'll let it set for a while and see how it goes. But I hear kind of a, not a grinding noise, it's just hard. Bad news for me. I know it's not the end of the world. I'm trying to get this thing on the road so I can go do some videos here. All right. Oh yeah, also the clutch, before I started, it had about maybe a quarter of the way traveled to the floor, and then it was all dead to the top. It would kind of collapse. And now it's just pretty much sitting on the floor. There's a little bit left, but not much. But I'm thinking, maybe that's because the clutch disc doesn't have as much meat, and also that the pressure plate is a little bit cheaper. It doesn't have as much length and spring to it, whatever. And then also the aside from that, the clutch has always been, since I've had it, adjusted all the way out. And so now I was thinking, when I looked at the disc, or I looked at the clutch arm that pushes the throw-out bearing arm, whatever the little that goes from the pedal shaft to that arm there, and it looks like it's too short. So I mean, is it possible that I got this thing and it had the wrong arm in it the whole time? You know, that's not going to cause a vibration, but now I'm thinking, okay, so I'm going to make my own clutch arm. Anyway, sad days here for the Falcon. So you can see the arm down here, right here. It's adjusted all the way to the end here. Get that in focus, but you know, up this shaft here, this is the clutch pedal arm. So maybe let me try to adjust it the other way. Maybe it works backwards. So I don't think so, but that would be nice. Maybe I got all kinds of space on it. All right, so I'm stacking these boards across the hood here, or across the front of the car. And it's freezing out here, so that's how that works. Can't wait for summer to get here. Or at least spring. Let's see here. I'm going to see if I can adjust the clutch. Hopefully the clutch is adjusted the wrong way and it's all the way in and I got all kinds of play left. I don't think so, because I think that I just think that adjusting it out more makes it so you would be equal to pushing it further. So anyway, that's what I think. So this is the clutch arm from the pedal. This is the pedal up here. You know, this goes up to the pedal. This hooks on here, and then this end piece here is going to fit into this. Okay, and the problem is that it's just too short. So the pedal is adjusted all the way out, and it's all rusted up. I can't really get it. So rather than, you know, have it break when I try to unscrew it, I'm gonna just try to make this longer. Okay, so I bought a long screw and a nut. I'm gonna weld the nut onto the top of the long screw and then kind of shape it like this and grind it and stuff like that. And I want to warn you, I am a terrible welder. So pretty good with gas, but not much with arc. So my plan is, this is the original one. I guess it needs that bend in there. I mean, I could straighten this out and it would probably add to it, but then it would be, you know, coming in at the wrong angle. So, and I'm wondering, is this the wrong one to begin with? Does this even go to this Falcon? Does anybody know? So this is a 6-cylinder Falcon with a 170 cubic inch motor and a 3-speed transmission. It was a 2.2:77 3-speed transmission. So that's what it is. So anyway, so my plan is I'm going to take this screw or bolt that I bought from Lowe's, which is about the right, the right thickness and everything. So I'm going to take that, and I'm going to take these washers here, which together, these washers are about the same thickness as this. You know, maybe a little bit thicker, but you know, if I can weld them all together, then I can grind them off and stuff. And then I'm gonna you know, weld them onto this, and then make this about the size that I want it to be. Now, my welding skills, like I said, are terrible. You know, back in when I was a kid, I could gas weld pretty good, but arc welding, I never got into it, even though my dad had a welding shop, my stepdad. So, but this is something that I did weld, and if you look at it, it looks awful. I know, but you know, I mean, I saw in one thing someone was saying, you know, I was thinking you're just going to go straight across and you're going to burn this nice smooth path. Problem is I can't see out my hood when it's going. So I mean, I did it a few times. I got a couple of good ones, but so someone was saying that you don't want to just stay in one spot because you're gonna melt there, or everything's gonna bend because of the heat. So I guess I'll get in there and I'll tack it and I'll tack it and I'll tack it and I'll tack it. I'll just put enough tacks in there to make it dependable, and you know, hopefully it works. But I can drive a clutch. If I can drive a stick shift without a clutch pretty darn good. So it's not like I'm gonna be broke down on the side of the road somewhere, so long as the car will start real good. So right now the Falcon is not starting good, so we're having problems. Anyway, let's set this up, and I'm gonna try to figure out how to get this in the right position and hold it in place while I do this. Don't know how, but I'm gonna try. And this is my little welder here. Guess where I got it? That's right, Harbor Freight Tools. It wasn't the cheapest one they had, but you know, it wasn't the most expensive. So I don't have 220 wired in my house, so this thing works on 110. You know, I mean, is it powerful enough to weld through this little bolt here? Is it power enough? Well, we'll find out. I think it is. So, all right, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set myself up here. So here's my self-dimming helmet. I've used this thing like, I mean, my total welding skills for arc welding here are probably, if you added them all together, maybe 15 minutes, 10 minutes at the most. So anyway, so out here in Tennessee, there's all kinds of spiders and everything. So I put this in a plastic bag, but now that I'm looking at it, this plastic bag has little don't suffocate your kid holes in it. So here's one here, or that's poked one, but so there could be lots of spiders in here. I don't know. Been out here for a year, and you know, if I get bit by a big brown recluse and it kills me, then you guys know you saw me here last. All right, someone call 911 after that. All right, so there's that. So all right, if I can remember how this thing works. It looked nice, you know. It just, the problem I had with this before is that as soon as it would kick in, it was so dark I couldn't see anything, and couldn't tell where I was at. So that's what happened. So let's see here. All right, let's put this guy over there. So I'm going to try to arc weld the washers together first, and see how that goes. Some spiders in here. It doesn't look like any spiders. I don't even know what these things say. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think that's how dark it is. So I turn everything as light as it would be, but still not happening. And you got adjustments in here for something. Sensitivity and delay. The delay I want it probably max or minimum, because you want it to kick in. You don't want to blind yourself right here. You know? Alright, here is my thingy there. If it looks brand new, it's because it pretty much is. Hope I don't shock myself to death here. I don't know. I don't think people do that too much. I guess it's certainly possible. All right. And I tell you, it's freezing cold out here. Hey, I got my beanie hat on, so maybe I won't get bit by a spider, or it'll be time delay anyway. So okay, I did get me some nice welding gloves. I like them. All right, let's see here. All right, just ready to go. Pull the trigger and it's going to feed the wire and go at the same time. I'm not doing too well, guys. If you're yelling at me, keep yelling. Again. Don't look like it welded very good at all. I might have to call my neighbor in here to weld it for me. He's an old welder guy. Look at that. Am I proud of myself? I don't think so. Get my wire brush. Take a look at it. It's looking better. Got some more holes in it. A little hole right there. A little crack right there. Maybe some over here. And down there. Oh, you know what? I got patience, and this is just a hobby, so I will see what happens. Alright, so I think I'm done here. So here's the old one. Let's see, it's too short. And here's my new one. Got plenty of play. And if it's too long, I can always, trim the end off. So I think it's going to work. I think so. I think it's going to be too long actually, but maybe I can take those threads, back that clutch up, a couple inches, 3-4 inches, so that so they'll have some clutch adjustment later on. So, because right now it is all the way to the end of the clutch adjustment. So, which it's great right now, but later on, when your clutch is worn, you want to maybe adjust it. All right.